Woo! Yo, look, man. Look, if you don't already know what it is, man, Shade 45, Sirius XM. It's first play. I'm in the honor. I'm in a room with greats. Let me tell you something, greats. And if you don't know who that was, man, that was none other than a gentleman that goes by the name of Rizzy, R-Z-A, Bobby Steelz.
Bobby Steelz in the building, Banks and Steelz.
Banks and Steelz is up in here, man. Mr. Paul Banks, what's up?
How you doing?
It's very good to meet you finally, man. I've been hearing a lot of things.
Likewise.
And you know what I like about music is the fact that you can go back. And I had a chance because I wasn't very familiar with Interpol and the music. And I apologize for that. Please don't jump across the table.
All right.
But I was able to learn something, and I dig your music very much so.
Thank you.
I'm glad. Yeah, man. Now, you guys come together as a group, Banks and Steelz. We mentioned it real quick. Tell me a little bit about this, man, because it's very intriguing. The way you guys have met, and it's kind of morphed into this, right, where we're at today.
Yeah, guarantee. Me and Paul met through a common denominator named Tyler Childs, and started off as just a couple of guys hanging out, on some tequila, playing chess, and
Always a good thing.
Always a good thing. And then decided to jam together and recorded a few demos that we both don't know how. Our manager played it to somebody at Warner Brothers who heard this combination and was like, "Yo, where can I get more of this?"
Oh, wow.
And then he came to us and said, "Yo, they're interested in you guys recording the whole album together. They think it's a unique sound and a unique collaboration." And we was like, I think we could do that. We could fit that in.
Yeah, we can definitely put those two together, man. So, and the funny thing about it is that, I read up on a couple of things. That is it true that this kind of originated in like a noodle shop? Is like it kind of came together over noodles, like cold noodles, like really homemade noodles and stuff in a noodle shop in New York City?
Yeah, New York City. Well, like I said, the tequila bar,
Maya Well was the tequila bar.
Yeah.
That's the name of it. And then we went downtown to Chinatown to I don't know where.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the noodle shop. There's one that my seafood, Shi Yanming, he goes there. They make this like the authentic handmade kung fu Chinese noodles, all right?
Man.
You know what I mean? They say long noodles mean long life.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is?
Yeah, so they make the nice long ones.
You always learning something up here in first place, because I had no idea.
Yeah, we got A. That's why they make their noodles long. They be just slurping them up for a long time.
And that's long life.
That means long life.
Do you agree with that, Paul? Is that true?
Sure, sounds good.
So tell me, like, some of your first impressions with, having the chance to work with Rizzy and stuff, because you yourself, you're accomplished, and this is a unique union.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a rock, I'm a rocker, but hip hop has been kind of a passion of mine since I was, like a preteen, since I was like 12. It's been a genre that I really was fascinated by and enjoyed, and in recent years kind of came back to it. Really just as a fan, but like as a big fan. So I think, meeting Rizzy was an honor, and it was just a cool thing to meet somebody whose music that you admire. The idea of kind of working together, I think, I actually forgot the question at this point. Sorry, man.
Well, what do you think about working with each other? Because you guys, from what I understand, you guys actually formed a friendship before. This wasn't forced. Like this came together organically.
Yeah, I mean, I think with both of us, we got other shit we can be doing. So
right.
I think if it isn't fun, then we wouldn't do it. And I think we kind of could tell from our first jam session that there was something that felt pretty organic and sounded pretty cool that was coming. And then, shortly thereafter, we got the interest of the label, and then it was kind of like, cool, all right, let's keep doing this. But it was just fun. I think when you have the right kind of collaboration, you become more than what each individual member is going to do. It's not just 1 and 1 is 2. It hopefully becomes 4 and 5 and something special. And I think I felt that we had that, and to this day, I still feel really excited about the music that we can write based on that chemistry that we have.
I like this joint right here, Anna Electronic. because it definitely, I mean, the name, you see electronic and you feel that in the music because it starts off with that synth like that, all that, man. Was this, I don't want to say, you've done so many different type of collaborations over the years, but for you to be really with this gentleman right here, did you step outside of your comfort zone on this?
I wouldn't say I stepped outside of my comfort zone. I think that maybe I expose certain things about myself that I haven't exposed, but I'm very comfortable with that exposure.
What about you, P? I'm gonna just call you P from now. Is that cool?
That's good, man.
Is that all right? I don't want to. I don't want to step over my rock and roll line here. I want to make sure it's all right.
No, that's all good.
All right. So what do you think about that?
I mean, that song really struck me, and I think it's kind of cool that you just sort of explained the production behind, how to get that waka waka sound. Because when I heard that, I thought like, that's the future. What the fuck am I listening to right now? We allowed to swear? Yeah, right.
Of course, it's Shade 45. Let's get to fucking it, man.
All right. Bama Lama.
But when Rizzy said I heard a melody, I mean, not only did I hear a melody, but there's a crazy chord progression in there. There's, Rizzy's choices just in terms of, there's the sonic, which doesn't really matter what the notes would be if it's just that waka 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 and the beat played in an electronic. Mm-hmm. But where those chords go is crazy. And I think that's what helps me as a singer when I'm trying to write a vocal part is like the chords got to be doing something interesting to kind of jump off of. You're not writing a vocal in a vacuum. And so many chord progressions are just sort of like, wah, wah, I don't, it doesn't do anything for me. It might work musically, but it does nothing for me. This is like a exotic and an exciting chord progression, which I think is cool because I don't know if people knew that, Rizzy as a songwriter essentially is doing sophisticated fucking shit. And so just as a vocalist, it was a pleasure just to be like, man, I can sing some crazy over this because that's all that is going to work. But that's also where I come from as a singer. So it was just a very natural, easy thing. I think the idea came to me quick.
There's a great line that Paul has in the song that's actually heavy and it's a great counter to my lightness. Time will take your place in no time. Think about that for a quick second. Time will take your place in no time. So do what you're supposed to do, yo, or you'll lose your whole position of doing it. And then I think I came back. It gets worse, but it's gonna get better. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's those little nuggets is buried in that song, and even throughout the album you'll find that. But that's one line that one day I'm just chilling myself listening to the album, and I think I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do that day. And it was like, time will take your place in no time. I said, wait a minute. I heard this song 100 times, but I never caught that shit.
Right.
Nah, baby, I'll be there. I'm coming.
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way.
Are we going to do more projects together?
Yeah, I think, first of all, we enjoyed working together, and we enjoy working together still.
Yeah.
So I think if time permits, a demand for it exists, we'll do another record, for the public, right? But at the same time, I could say that if none of that did exist, me and Paul, we started this as two guys jamming, and I'm sure we're gonna jam again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You agree, Paul?
Absolutely. I mean, I mentioned it in another interview. There's also like 20 other songs that we, have kind of off the ground that didn't make the record. So there's, aside from new music that we could generate, there's a lot of music I would like to finish that,
right.
Is in the wings. But yeah, definitely. There's a lot of, there's a good dynamic between us in the studio and writing, and I'd like to make some more.
Now, Paul, we were talking about it. Obviously, now that I know, and again, my apologies and shit, but you're a hip hop fan, man. Who's some of your some of the cats that you came up on and you was like, yo, I like these guys?
Well, I mean, I came up on, I guess it was Straight Out of Compton came out when I was probably like 12. And that was the first record that I memorized every lyric to. At the time, Ren was my favorite back in the day when I was a kid.
Ren was deep.
Ren was my favorite in the crew. But also, I like Two Live Crew and I like Too Short, and I think a lot of that was just like anybody that was just, fucking out there. That was what I was responding to. And then later on, I mean, I think Dilla is a favorite of mine as a producer. I saw your Mass Appeal sticker. Gangstar is big.
Yep.
I don't know. Kweli and Mos Def. that collaboration is really one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Black Star.
Black Star.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Dan the Automator, Madlib, RZA.
Mhm.
Those are some of my favorite producers. As far as MCs, I don't know. It's a long list, but I would put Kool Keith up, right up at the top.
Yeah. You cannot have not have Kool Keith at the top.
Ghost,
Run a lot of people. Yeah.
Ghost, one of the greatest storytellers in the genre.
I will never forget the day I heard about the Booger Green Pacer when I was a kid. I was like, yo, how the fuck? Like, I remember this. I know this color because I know the Booger Green Pacer they used to pass in the Bronx, man. Do you think like a lot of this influence has obviously influenced your work and when it comes to songwriting?
Well, I think it has been an influence for me as a lyricist, but I think it's a very different genre. Like, I couldn't, people jokingly ask me when they hear about my passion for hip hop, like, "Oh, you're gonna rap?" And it's like, come on, whatever, that's
Right.
something you got to start when you're like 10. I would reckon, but I like melody so much that it would be difficult for me to ever kind of deliver lyrics and not sing. So, oh man, I gotta eat something. I'm losing my train of thought.
No, it's all good, man. I do this shit every day. Look at me, man. I lose my train of thought every fucking day as soon as I am, man. But yeah, I agree that and I think like the way music is nowadays, when you were saying you melodic and there's melodies in your head, there's so much hip hop out there right now where they're considered rappers, but it's very melodic.
Well, your hip hop is
right,
definitely
that's a good point. Yeah.
hip hop has definitely led itself to the melodic world, which I think is an asset. But being an OG of hip hop, I could say it's always been there. It's just Boogie Down Production will always get paid.
Yep.
I mean, you could keep going and you'll find records that Slick Rick, for instance, a very melodic MC. It's always been there. Now it's probably more prevalent than in the past. Now, not saying that now that it's there, you're gonna go write you a lyric, start doing your shit, kid. Not saying that.
Yeah, open the door.
But yeah. But I think Paul being a hip hop fan, and me, not trying to jump back on my own shit, but I became a rock fan maybe around 2002, 2003, and prior to that, I was probably one of the original haters, as they call it. I mean, I didn't like R&B, nothing. If it wasn't either soul music or hip hop, don't bring it around me. And I think the discovery of the guitar led to the discovery of rock music and the discovery of how great a lot of those records are. And I had to go way back from Pink Floyd, I even had to go back to Zeppelin, you know what I mean? And me and the Jizzle, we used to have lyrics that was anti-Zeppelin. You know what I mean? You hear Jizzle want to first protect your neck. It goes, first of all, who's your A&R? A mountain climber who plays an electric guitar. So we was anti that. But at the end of the day, when you listen to Liquid Swords and you hear a song like Fourth Chamber, it still sounds like a lead guitar intro, even though I did it with a keyboard. So it took time for me to realize that the influence of rock in American music is actually part of the hip hop DNA in its own respect. Think of a song like "Mary Mary" by Run DMC.
Yeah.
"Walk This Way" by Run DMC.
Yeah.
Scarface and them sampling Joker. You know what I mean? So we forgot all the. But I definitely also now as a fan of rock, that helped, our collaboration because I'm able to musically understand and accept what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And able to meld it together. So when you hear a song like Giant on our record, that's a melding. You hear a song like Speedway Sonora. I don't know if you got to that one yet, but that's a melding of rock music, hip hop music, and all that, and soul is in there. So
how can you guys are hitting the road, man? Y'all have already hit the road. We're in between dates and stuff. How can people go ahead and make sure they check out the shows that are coming up?
Check out the website, banksandsteelz.com. All the dates are up there, and I think more to come.
What's our Instagram handle? We got a handle?
Yeah, it's Banks and Steelz.
Banks and Steelz. And make sure that's with a Z, not an S, y'all.
What's our Twitter? Don't we got a Twitter?
What?
Is it Banks and
Put me on the
Steelz?
spot. I think it's Banks and Steelz, Bobby. I'm pretty sure.
Hey, yo, but one thing I think we're excited about, I think Austin City Limits, isn't that one we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
one of the
so Austin,
festivals.
one of a great city, so we'll go down there and have some fun, yo.
Nice, man. And I think we're all expecting, we definitely want to come out for that joint for New York. So maybe we could put something together for some of these listeners. We'll talk off air about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
For your individual social media, man, people want to stay in tune with, what you guys have going personally. How can they reach y'all?
I'm Banks Paul Banks on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what about you, Rizzy?
At Rizzy on Twitter, right? At Rizzy.
You on Instagram? Y'all on Snapchat? Y'all doing that shit?
I don't understand Snapchat.
Yeah.
That's the one where you can write a message and then it just disappears.
Yeah, more pictures and shit like that. Video.
But people,
Yeah, see?
Okay.
We got something new. All right.
Move on and shit, huh?
Yo, man, make sure you go ahead and get the new project. It's out there. Anything But Words, man. Banks and Still, Rizzy, Paul Banks. I appreciate the time, brother.
Thanks.
Brothers. And now I know something new.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Shade 45. We out here. Whoa.